So for the part of the exercise where I want you to start with a flat and fold it up into the 3D shape, I'm going to provide you a SolidWorks file that has a 3D sketch on it that will kind of show you the boundary of the end 3D shape. So as long as your pattern and your bends are within this boundary, you'll know that you have done the part correctly. So I'm not expecting it to be exactly within it. If it's out here and there, that's totally fine. This isn't supposed to be a precise exercise. This is just to kind of practice visualizing how a part would fold or unfold. So I've already started part of my sketch here, which is a similar shape to what we saw on the convert to sheet metal. And so you can either start with your sketch on the plane that you're have your fixed geometry, or click on base flange and then do your sketch. So I started with my sketch. Now it's mostly done. I'm going to click on base flange, and that's going to take this profile and turn it into a flat sheet metal part. I'll keep the thickness at 0.1, which I want you to do as well. We're going to treat this as if it was a paper part, and then I'm going to hit check. Before I jump into my bends, I'm actually going to give myself some reference. Let's see here. I'm going to show this, or it was already shown. I'm going to edit the sketch, and I'm going to put in some construction lines to attach my bend lines to when I start that tool. So you don't have to do this step. It's just something I like to do, so it makes the whole bend process much easier. So I'll hit edit sketch, and then we need it to bend up right about these corners here, but you don't want to put them exactly on that corner, otherwise you'll get an error. So we're going to offset it just a tad. Those need to get converted to construction lines, otherwise that will cause an error. And I'm just going to be sloppy here, and we'll set it to, let's just say 1 for now. Okay. I'm going to exit that. Let me check on one thing. So if you want to see what your bend radius is, you can right click on sheet metal here and go edit feature. And I currently have my bend radius at 0.1. So let me actually change this out here. I want to make this, and this is why I hate dimensioning the way I just did, because now I have to go to all 4 of these and change them. Let's do double the radius. There's more math behind how you would actually set up these offsets and how the bend would go, but we're just kind of making it work at this point in time. Okay, so now I got those for reference. I'm going to go and click on sketch bend. I want to select a plane that we're sketching the bend lines on, which will be this surface. And then now it's just as easy as taking those reference that I had in there and putting geometry lines on top of them. Select my fixed surface, which is right there, and now you can see that bent up nicely. So we could probably get that tighter, but that's getting into our bend allowances and doing all that math, which we'll get to, but for this exercise we don't need to. So I'm going to hit check. So I'm going to show you, as I had mentioned before, why you don't want to do too many bends on with these sketches. And I'm going to have this piece here bend in on itself. So I'm going to go in my sketch here, and I'm just going to add several lines. I can actually just, I want them at least being vertical. There we go. So I can actually put these, I would suggest not doing this, but as long as the bend line is past the material, it will bend the part. So let's see what this will look like. As you can see, it's going to go up 90 like I had before, go down 90, and then it's just going to kind of continue on that pattern of bending in 90 degrees. So you can eventually just bend in on yourself, and you don't want that. I don't know if I could do an example for this part. This is another thing that when you're doing this, so obviously when you're bending it and you see something like that bad, you know you've done something wrong. Another thing when you're creating your part here, and well, I suppose that's more for when you're doing your converting from solid, there will be times where you'll go to the flat pattern and there'll be pieces laying on top of each other, and you don't want that. So those are two things that you can visually see that are incorrect, and you'll have to go and adjust. So I'm gonna delete what I just did there. And to make this process easier, I'm gonna actually go back in and put my reference lines on just my flat sketch. So I need, let's see here, I want construction, I need them here. I just need one there. So I already have it bending up there, and then one more to bend down. Put that over there. Like I said, you don't need to do these, but when you go into Sketch, it's easier to use these reference sketches to actually click onto points, because for whatever reason it won't initially reference an edge. You have to go in there and manually put the coincident on there, so that can kind of be a pain in the butt. I find this to be a much smoother process. So I'm going to click, I need one here, and here, and one more. I'm going to quick sloppily dimension these. We want twice the bend radius. And then I want this one at, I believe, click there and there. Oops, I must have grabbed something more than I needed. I believe this one should be set at 30. And then I'm going to do a symmetric on that. Okay. Let's exit this sketch and then come back into this one. And now I should be able to quick and easy plop those on there. So as you can kind of, well, let's see if I can get that. I can't, here. It won't snap to these edges. So that's why I'm getting these reference lines in there from the other sketch. So now I can actually click on those endpoints, and now that's exactly where I need it to be. It also makes it easier so I don't have to go to multiple different sketches to make any changes. I kind of can have everything I need in that initial flat pattern. Let's exit that, and I have an error. What did I do wrong? Oh, that's looking way too close. I must have dimensioned something slightly wrong there. That one doesn't look right either. Why is it doing that? Huh. Let's drag this out. I'm gonna just do a symmetry on that. See if that fixes it. I might have been, I think I know what I did, because it was so small. I think it was making it into a diameter dimension, not a, I guess, radius, but anyways. So I guess be careful with that when you're using the construction lines, because you easily can, let me double check that. I do think I'm right about that. I think, yep, so I was doing that. That's why I was getting there. Okay. And yep, so that fixed it. So like I said, I'm not looking for perfection on these. I just want them to basically fit inside of the perimeter that I've provided you. And obviously things like that, when I demonstrated it folding in on itself, I don't want like drastically wrong. So minor interference like that, that's no big deal. These not being totally in line with each other, that's fine. I just want it to kind of, at a glance, look like the shape that it's meant to be. So there'll be 6 of these that I'll have assigned. You'll do the ones where you convert it to sheet metal, and then you'll do the ones where you take it from a flat pattern and bend it into the 3D shape.